Hi, everybody. Nick Blazer here, back with another interview, this time with Zdeněk Ziska, Masayuki Mochizuki, a.k.a. Mochi.
Hi.
Hi, Mochi.
Hello.
Michihito Kagayama. Welcome.
Hi, everybody. And hi, Nick. Thank you for having me.
Justin Knoll. He's, welcome, Justin. Say hi.
Hello.
Thomas Tenlin. He is G1 Grandmaster on BMAB. I just looked it up. Current PR of 2.89. Nick Blazer here with another interview with another backgammon community star in Simon Budget.
Difficult positions you have to figure out over the board.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I mean? And it's sometimes it's not easy, and it's like you have to be sharp.
I mean, the worst player in my first 5 or 6 rounds was like PR5. So I was like, oh my God, what a day. But then, I mean, the luck turned on the other side. So it was super exciting. And it was one of my best weeks. I mean, the most exciting.
You really get to win, or the guy goes, but what if he hits me back? And I go, but what if he anchors? You know what I mean? Like the fear isn't getting hit back. The fear is him anchoring, you know? And Sanders said that in an interview. And I go, I've been telling people this in lessons for years. I'm like, if he anchors on the 24 point, the guy might end up winning 20% of the games then and there.
What changed? How did you figure out that it was a game worth playing and studying?
Then, maybe I was 17 years old. I accidentally found a book at a bookstore, which is a backgammon strategy book.
Hi, everybody. Nick Blazer here with another position analysis video. This one is about recube action against the three-way players. Sure, we can take a break from the ad roll and everything to tune you into the announcements here. So it looks like that's Andrew Selby there. We don't have sound from the room, but it looks like he's announcing the format of the Super Jackpot, who the players will be, everything like that. He'll be communicating all that to me too, so I'll get that set up on stream. We've got the Super Jackpot about to start here. I've got Julian Fetterlein with me helping out on commentary again. He'll be ready when we get going now or in 10 minutes, whatever that happens to be. I saw Martin Barkwill take a seat in the chair there too. I don't know if he has information I don't about who's playing already. But yeah, just wanted to let you guys know what you're seeing there. We got Jason Pack in the frame there, a couple other players that I'm not aware of. All right, we're getting ready to go pretty quickly here. I've been told need to update some graphics and things to represent this, but that looks like Justin Bohr on the top and Sebastian Wilkinson again that we'll be seeing playing on the bottom, playing the white checkers. So this should be a pretty strong matchup. Excited for this one. And I expect we'll get started pretty shortly here. And Julian will jump in when he's ready. Hey. No, I don't know much about him. I've, of course, seen Seb play plenty, but tell me about him. Oh, you don't know much about him either. Okay, okay. So maybe not a UK player? Maybe I need to update the flags? Yeah. Oh, right. Okay. My bad. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I've seen him write about things like that too. It seems like a pretty interesting dude, you know? I haven't gotten to have conversations about that. Go ahead. Right, right. Uh-huh. Oh yeah, yeah. He's always top contender, even in the UBC stuff. When I'm commentating on that, I always expect strong play about him. I didn't know his reasons for moving, but I knew he had moved recently, and always a pleasure to see him out at tournaments too. Really? I'm in Wisconsin. I think it's colder here, but California is like somehow really cold. Oh, interesting. Okay. Well, we still have snow too. It's 36 outside here. That's Fahrenheit. So about zero. About zero is what it is over here. It can be a little bit warmer than zero to have snow too, but who knows? Who knows? Yeah, please go for it, man. Yeah. 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 Right, right. Uh-huh. Absolutely. Yeah. Sure. Overtaking is that word works. Passing, I don't know what we call it. Sure, sure. Yeah. Yep. Yes. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Ah, yeah, yeah. Oh, shoot. I'm sorry. I think I've had your audio muted this whole time, Julian. Oh, my gosh. My bad. I think I have
Okay.
it back on, but it looks like we're getting the match started here.
Yeah. So if you can get me the full screen, then we'll be in business.
Yeah, yeah. So it looks like a 6-3, 5-3, 6-3. Yeah, we'll get that.
Yes.
Going. And then another 5-3.
Yep.
That hits him down. Okay. 5-1. Let's hop over here. Let's get
so
you in business. There we go.
That's brilliant. Yeah.
All
So I'm
better.
not quite sure about that. I think with 10 in the zone, maybe it's better just to dig in on the 24 point.
Right, right. XG seems to agree with you there. Sounds quite logical to me. And yeah, so making the bar point seems like a huge improvement to Seb's position. But given that he's going to have to leave shots somehow, pointing on the 2 seems really important as well.
Yes, for sure.
So, okay.
So
Sure.
he's certainly going to have enough to double, if not be too good if black stays on the bar. But he's anchored, so that avoids any immediate catastrophe.
Just a simple mutual holding game now, right? Yep, he sees the
Yes,
checker on the 8 is frozen.
Seb's got to try and find a way to lose contact somehow.
Yeah, 18 to 15 seems like a huge step. But covering the 10
Yes.
is pretty nice too. Hiding the blot behind instead, I really feel like I want some sort of outfield presence. So I'm inclined to make the 10 and maybe even volunteer the shot on the midpoint, if anything.
I see, right. So give 1s and 3s. Yeah, so the 3 being hit on the 8 point, we can't do anything about it, but I don't think we care that if black has to break his anchor to hit, that opens up a world of pain for him.
Right, exactly. He's going to hide the blot behind instead. Okay, all close ideas. Yeah.
Okay, so I don't think black has any threat to hit here unless he rolls double 3 or something like that.
Right.
So I certainly wouldn't bite on this thing. I kind of think you just bide your time and play 7 and 5 and build up your own board.
Interesting. I might still be tempted with the Blotten board, only a 3-point board for now, but I mean, it makes a lot of sense what you're saying. 5 down, and then AC's going to split behind instead of just lifting. Okay, I guess this is the most like best distribution in racing distribution, and he's not worried about contact at all with that play.
Yeah, so the computer always does these dramatic plays of leaving lots of blots when it understands there's not going to be any shots next time.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So if you leave a shot next time, you hate this play, but on the computer's figured out that there's hardly any time you will actually do that. So this is the best play for building your board in the long term.
Right. And this, I don't see many things to go for here other than 6-1. I think feels like it keeps the best distribution.
Yes, you and me both.
Look at this, though. This is the opportunity to give up the 15, the bot thinks. Very interesting. I guess this board's going to get worse and we're running out of time. And Seb spots this. This is really impressive to me.
That's brilliant, yes.
That's a difficult one to find, yeah.
I think the problem is he had three stripped points in the outfield, so it's kind of like he's almost certain to leave a shot next time anyway. So while there's a blot in Black's board, Black's definitely got the timing advantage. His position is improving every roll.
Right. Well, he found that moment, those sensitive moments that come up in holding games all the time.
Yep.
Very well timed.
So now he's got to be getting close to a double in this position, I guess.
Feels pretty strong. Can definitely lose our market with a big set. Plenty of racing lead. Still should be an easy contact to take for Black.
Yeah, so I'm just looking at the race. The race is saying to me that Black has a comfortable take. So I think the only argument is whether White should wait till he strips the midpoint. But no, I think it's definitely a good double for Seb. I think he's good at assessing these and saying that you're 70% plus in this sort of position.
Yeah. You tend to have some market loss once you're below 4 checkers on the midpoint and can clear safely with a set, right?
Yes, exactly, as you say. And I've heard it called the rule of 4, that when you've got 4 or less on the midpoint, you actually have numbers that clear it safely.
Yeah. This is interesting just to play to the ace. I guess we can save a 6, but I'm quite tempted to play more pure than this and do something like 8-4.
No, so I guess he's saving the 6, and not only that, but by his play, he's left the blot on the 2, so the bad 6 is going to cover the 2 point later on.
Yeah, okay. Double 5s fixes everything.
Yeah, so this was why he doubled in the first place. This chance of the 5 clearing doubles.
Exactly, yeah.
But so Black's winning chances are remote, but we've still got to clear the 8 point and still got to clear the 6 point. So there's some bad numbers.
Okay, he keeps his doubles playing well like this, but long term, I would have thought 6-4 still. Interesting. Now it's getting important to make these kinds of plays. Good find by him. But like for racing distribution, I want to be able to play a 4 from my 4 point later at some point and don't want to be stuck. Okay, rewarded for considering the doubles.
Well, I mean, he hasn't left a shot, but he's got 4-1 is a blot leaving number now that he wouldn't have had the other way.
Exactly, yeah. Long term, a lot of those are going to show up. So
okay, so
clears. Yep.
So right, we've got to the not quite so exciting stage of the game. So it looks like this game is virtually over. So
enough 2-1s and it could get exciting again.
So not.
And 3s. Okay.
I was going to say there's remote chances of a gammon, but they're getting bigger.
Yeah, we're all the way. Wow, it's all the way up to 65% now. Okay, I would not have estimated that high yet.
Yeah, so I guess White's got 4 rolls. So Black has 3 goes to get home to get 20 pips, 22 pips. I'm not sure about that. That might well be right, but it's not usually a good idea to force yourself to roll a 6 in these positions. Unless you can roll the 6.
If you do, then it's very efficient, right?
Yeah. So now he's just got to guard against 1s next time.
Yep, should be a pretty big favorite to get off if he can avoid a set here. I think it's only 1s, right? Yeah, 3-2 will save it. Well done. That's quite the sweat for what was just a holding game to begin with, right? Hardly feels fair.
Yes, indeed. You kind of think, okay, I'm never going to get gammoned with a 5-point holding game.
Right.
But he certainly had to work to get off it. So there's some problem with this XG feed, and I noticed this last time with Seb that his PR doesn't seem to go up like everyone else's.
Oh yeah. Okay.
It seems to keep getting stuck at round about the 0 level.
Sure. I think I need to go hit ++ on that one play that's giving him a 0.004 loss in equity right now, and that should go away. Yeah.
Okay, so Black's Black started with a 5-2 and played 2 down. So
Yeah.
typically when your opponent plays 2 down, you don't move the back checkers. So I guess he must have rolled a 6-3 if he's forced to run out.
He rolled a 4-5, I think. But yeah,
Yeah,
chooses
so
the run, which is
4-5, I'm
actually
sure
close.
you should play 2 down. Yeah, so that's what the
Right.
computer was saying.
Yeah.
So basically, if there's 10 in the zone and your opponent's got a stacked position, you don't want to walk into his attack.
Yeah, I think Seb knows that concept too, so I'm not sure what he's trying with his play instead. 5-4 is going to anchor up nicely though. Looking good.
Yeah.
Yeah, very interesting. I'm always fascinated by those things where like there's not that big of a difference in the plays. And like really you should be able to do anything, but we have them memorized, so it seems somewhat clear too. Most players do.
Yeah,
So, like,
I
how
like
they end
the
up making
idea
that play is
of
curious,
not
yeah.
memorizing every move, but just understanding the principles. So
Yeah.
typically, when your opponent starts by bringing 2 checkers down from the midpoint, the top play is to play at the bottom of the board, that you don't want to split into his potential attack.
Of course. And having game, like, I completely agree with having the reasoning for it. And so it makes me wonder what the reasoning is for, like, having inferior play, if that makes sense, you know?
Yeah, so
Even if
I
it's
guess
marginal. Yeah.
one could argue it creates complexity. So it
Mhm.
gives Black this choice whether to hit or to split or to build a point himself.
Yeah. In leading in the race here, I'm not sure if Justin wants the 10 or not. He could clear it pretty safely here. Maybe he actually wants to run off the anchor sooner than later. But he's just going to throw checkers behind. This seems like the natural play to just play quietly. Clearing the 7 is a play too. Okay. Very interesting. 6-5. Did he was running off the anchor anyone there? I don't see it. I don't know how close it is. 6-5. Yeah, not too much risk in putting blots in front of the anchor right now with all these blots on board. So I like
Yeah,
Seb's play.
for sure. So the way this game is turning out is that Black's got a race lead, so he wants to lose contact, but White's got this higher anchor. So
Mhm.
if no one makes a move, Black's slowly going to find that he's getting primed and his block in front of White is disappearing.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. That is the risk of the 22 especially, right? So
Yes.
the 6-3 can run past now, and I think now is the time for that.
Yeah, so for sure we've got a 3-point board to a 1-point board. So the basic rules I have for these run-off anchor positions is that you want to be ahead in the race. So when you get away with it, there's a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. You're actually winning.
Mm-hmm.
And the downside is you're leaving 1 checker behind. So how dangerous is it? Is White going to likely to attack you? And if you've got a stronger board, that's a good defense.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I was running there as you were suggesting.
Yeah, misses an opportunity. Seb immediately just rolls this forward. This seems good. I would have been confused about, I mean, I make the 4 for sure, and then the 5 wasn't clear, but of course it's very nice to have the 5 after we make the 4. Perfect rack distribution. Okay. And so now it's probably going to be too late to run off that butterfly anchor. It's going to be hard to find another opportunity.
Yes, we're going to have to roll a
this is
double.
interesting.
Basically.
Seb just comes in instead of making the bar point with the 4-1? I'm not sure.
Well, that
Maybe
was
that was
weird.
an oversight.
Yes.
Oh,
So
I
I
think
would-
he just noticed it, just shaking his head like, what the heck was that? That was bizarre, yeah. I think, didn't see that it could happen. I don't know. So interesting how things like that can happen. Okay.
Okay, so he's looking at running out. So that's,
Yeah,
I
double
guess
Falcon
there's no
big
other
clear.
play is the answer to that. So usually, I'm not quite sure this is actually usually the right idea. When you're behind in the race, you actually want the contact.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, but here he's preventing his opponent from running safely too and covering the outfield. So I think this is the best contact play as well, just to hop past that structure and give his opponent a hard time running with the racing lead. He's still lamenting not making the bar point here. Really wishes he had it.
Yes. No, that was a weird play. I mean, you can see the dice better than me, but my suspicion is maybe he rolled a 3-2 and couldn't do it. But he certainly played it as though it was a 4-1, didn't he? He played a 4 and then 1 in.
If you watch too on the stream, we've got that player cam in the top right, and you can see, I'm sure that's what he's talking about. He keeps pointing to it and laughing about how he just overlooked it.
Yes, right.
But so what is our 6-1 here? We can just play behind to the ace.
Yeah, we could make the point 12 away from his anchor, which would give us some holding, but maybe some difficult 6s in the future. Sure. Or we could just play 15-8 and leave 1 guy to guard the outfield.
These are options, but I'm inclined to leave it there and play behind. Wow, I'm surprised that blocking would be the best play there. My idea being more that when my opponent like is inclined to run with a 6-1, 2-3, 4-5, something like that, I'm gonna want the double shot eventually. And I think that's the logic that Seb finds here too, and it feels like that's a bigger swing than the double sixes are, But
yeah, so I mean, double six, I think is probably going to win anyway, or it's certainly giving Black the edge, whether he hits or not. It's a good number for him. So if you make it slightly better, it's not a big downside.
Yeah, that's usually the logic, and that's what I would use to find that too. And okay, now that he's crashed, he thinks that it's time to get the cube in. Justin agrees and lets it go. And yeah, right on the margin. Okay, I always have trouble underestimating these 22-point crashed cubes, but both of them find that very comfortably. Yes, Grant's in the chat. They are playing on a Jeffrey Parker board. I don't know if the winner of the tournament wins one. Do you happen to know that, Julian?
No, I haven't got any information on that front. So, one thing that's really good is this particular board. It matches your XG board very well indeed, doesn't it?
Oh, you like that? Yeah. So Rain makes custom board designs and made it for this tournament here. By the way, with this 20, I think it's better to hit and cover the 11 since we can make an asset and have the advantage in all the ways there. I mean, after we make the point, our opponent might not cover the point, but more often than not, we're just in an equal game. We have at least a clear advantage sending the third back.
Yes, I'm with you. So it's just the thing that swings it is the making the 11 point, the one that's 6 in front of the 5-point block. So we can still fight for the 5 point even when Black hits us.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I'm just wondering.
It just makes the point instead. Okay.
Yep.
Those are tricky. I remember I just saw that very recently, so it's fresh in my mind that I had the right idea there too.
So I mean, but it's not a given. Black's going to cover, as we've seen, that he.
Right.
I mean, ones, threes, and eights are not certain.
Now he's going to try harder to make sure his opponent doesn't cover with a tempo hit on the ace. I like the play. And decision over here too. So instead of getting another blot involved, I like this.
This looks obvious to me, I would say.
Yeah. Now that we have one escape, we want to keep that advantage. Yeah.
I guess that was the argument Seb was using last time. Usually, when you slot the 5 point, then the objective is to cover it next time and not get distracted.
Mm-hmm. But I think there's a big difference there that Justin had already escaped the checker, and so he has an advantage of some sort there. When he goes for a hit, he just rates to neutralize that when he gets hit back, right?
Okay, so here I'm coming up at the back. I'm playing 22-21.
Yeah.
So 5s are particularly bad for white here. So 4s and 6s he can play the back checkers, but he doesn't have a good 5. So you don't want to get hit by the 5. You'd rather duplicate the 4 somehow. Yeah. Oh, look, he's made the bar. He's learned that concept now from the last game.
Understand it's a valid point to own. Okay, yeah. And so sticking with the single checker back theme, just running seems like where it's quite a bit here, even though we're down in the race.
I depend count as to how many shots, whether you want to get that close, but seems to have he left a 12, walked into it.
Oh, and steps it up too, okay. No need to leave plots in the outfield, gets a fan, and this is just a commanding lead for Seb now. And maybe the question is actually, can he afford to just take another roll? I guess if Justin
I would
enters,
think not when Black's got the 5 point made. I think there's big danger of things going downhill.
And the checker back too, right? Otherwise, if that was full freedom, he could just claim it later. But okay. Good to pick this one up now. And we open with a 5-3. So that's 9 away, 13 away. Big lead for Seb to start. I think he'll be splitting here. Oh, he plays 2 down after the pointing roll, though. Okay, interesting. And seems to be right at the score.
So there's an argument for that now. He's 4 points down.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, usually the plays are tied whether you split or you build, but 2 checkers down is definitely going to lead to more gammons.
Yeah. I like Seb's instinct to just escape here, I think.
Now, this is illegal, isn't it? It's a double 4? He should.
Oh, yeah, it is illegal.
I
should get ready to enter this illegally. Maybe that's why he's confused now. How did I manage to just get to hit 2? There we go. Okay.
Okay, so 24-16 twice he's playing. But if you do this, then I think making the 4 points automatic to me.
Oh, interesting. I thought I like his play here because I thought we were just trying to simplify and placing a racing game at a leading score. But you're right. much better to make the 4 point along with.
Yeah, so you have a race lead, whatever you play, but
sure,
keeping the contact gives you this hitting advantage when you've got the 3 point board, and you've increased black spanning numbers from 4 to 9. Is a good start.
Very true. Very true. Okay. I think the competing concept that he probably grabbed at was just like wanting to simplify into a racing cube and get to something efficiently.
So he'd love to be in a race, but the other way he had the race and a few other options, should we say?
Yeah, could have played for a little bit more there. Okay. 5-3 looks like it can clear the 16. Beautiful.
Yep, looks perfect. So he's leaving 9s and 10s.
That's not one of them. And 29 pips ahead in the race. We got to be thinking about this already, even at a leading score. I think.
I'm not nowhere near doubling with the 4 and 5 open. I'm pretty sure we need to make at least one of those before we can cube.
Yeah, I think having the structure to bring it home for sure. Yeah, I'm with you. In the ballpark. 4-3 is going to make an anchor, and now we have very little here. Even further from a cube.
So that's good. That tidies everything up.
Yeah.
I always like it when I can't lose in the next roll.
Very nice improvement for him. 3-5. I think Julian's going to be happy to keep the goalkeeper for a little while here still.
Yes.
Sorry,
I'm not certain because now White's made the 2 and the 3 point. There's not really a lot of points that the goalkeeper's covering, so it's really only covering the 1 point.
Yeah. Okay.
So White can still dump checkers behind him safely on the 2 and 3.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
Like you, I think I'd have probably just played at the top of the board to the 2 point, but it wasn't as though there was an obviously good play at the top of the board.
Yeah. There, for lack of alternatives.
Yeah,
made him
there wasn't an improvement to make.
Yeah, good point. Double 3s. Okay, so even though he's down in the race, I think the contact with the bar point is better here. So I like his move here. I don't think he can afford to spend 2 of them covering the 4 either. Maybe that.
No,
I
don't like that. I don't think it's. I think you have to stay back, whatever the cost. So the race lead. I remember Mitchy saying you can double these positions with a race lead of 16. So this is a 16 plus, I would say.
Yeah.
I can't see why you can't double this. You've got the 4 market losers, and 4 is it's not O'Hagan's law saying you've got that enough market losers now, but how many rolls are you going to have these 4 market losers for?
Yeah, a couple. We've got some spares to work with, so yeah. Okay, finds the cube, gets that in, even at the leading score. Easy take for Justin. We'll see if he can capitalize. Okay, 4s are the market loser. Got it in time. Happy with his cube now.
Yeah, so that looks like a good play. Again, it's this clear from the rear plan. So even though he wanted to slot the 4 point, he's the difficult point to clear here is the 9. So that's the one he's stripping immediately.
All right. Can't clear the 9 there, so he's forced to spend his spare from the 8.
Yeah, I mean, with the race lead being this big, I'm not sure if XG would sort of play 1 and 4 there or something weird.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking about this.
3-2 doesn't do anything, so I guess you play 6 to 4 and look for a 3.
Sure, it seems okay. 5-2 a little bit better, but all these fine. No need to give up that extra landing point in the 8 point in a position like this. Usually we would be to avoid destroying our board, but like you said, just such a massive racing lead that's the top priority by far. Is just not leaving it.
Sometimes we're going to find a roll without a 2.
4-2 can advance forward to make the deuce. That's a nice shot. We didn't get to mention too much at the beginning. It's in the description, but they're a 32-player draw for the Super Jackpot. So I do believe we're playing.
The big difference between Super Jackpots, for those that don't know these things, is that it's just a straight knockout. So when you lose, that's it. You've lost everything. There's no consolation, second chances, last chances. So I mean, the strong players really like Super Jackpots because the prize money is concentrated very much at the players that are getting to the last 2, last 4.
Okay.
So one thing I noticed with the draw is because we started on the Friday, there's a few strong players who I guess were working, who weren't in the main, but have come in for the Super Jackpot. So I think Simon Bargett was in the draw and Arif Alipur. So that's two of the British Grandmasters who I don't think were in the main, but are
okay.
for this one.
I saw Simon Bargett in the chat earlier. So he was watching from somewhere.
Okay.
Maybe from the playroom. I don't know. 3-2 to open here. Okay. So everything going Seb's way so far with the 7-away, 13-away lead. Justin yet to get on the board. I hope we don't have another shutout like first match. We'll see, though. I'm sure Seb would be fine with that. Maybe you too as his business partner. I don't see any need for unbiased streams. So if you feel the need to root for your buddy Seb, that's quite okay with me.
No, I mean, generally, I don't have any financial interest in any players in this event. But it seems that there's a lot of the players I've given lessons to. So certainly Jason Pack, who was in the earlier one, I've had a few sessions with him, and his problem is he's predominantly a money player, so it's adjusting to match play is where there's problems for him.
Very interesting. I thought I remembered him. This was a nice find by Seb here too. I'm really tempted by this third best play, but yeah, I thought I remembered him writing some article about how to adjust to like stronger opponents and take advantage of that in match play too at some point. So yeah, it's interesting. I mean, he has ideas about how to deal with that, but I guess still plenty to learn. The containment down 2 down to make the 11 looks very strong here. Seb cruising with an advantage in this game as well. But Justin, yeah, big step in the right direction, making the 5 point and a perfect 4-point board here. And not much of a follow-up from Seb. He's under a lot of pressure now.
So do we creep up with the 1? Would look tempting to me.
I don't see why I want to be hit on the edge, so I would be playing 6-5.
No, it's as you say, if I'm being hit, I'd rather be hit on the 1 than the 2. But ultimately, we're going to have to escape sometime. So have we run out of things we can do at the bottom of the board? Do we? Wow. Well, are we scared about black bringing in some other attackers? So it wants to go all the way. Wow.
Yeah, those are basically tied, and what we should really do is just quit being a chicken and come out to the bar point, right, against this 4-point board. I guess we're leaving like a single shot anyway. And the upside's much greater when we come out. We don't ruin all our timing in the front position. Tough one to find, but I can make some logic for it after the fact.
Yeah. Okay, so can we double yet?
I feel like we have to with the score deficit, right? I mean, maybe we still have work to do. I don't know. But yeah, my question is going to be take or pass.
Cover and fan is going to be big market loss, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, maybe he's playing on in some sense here. I don't really know exactly how he's approaching this, but this looks pretty dead for Seb. It's very scary to take a cube like this at this big of a lead.
So with the 2-5, I guess there's no other 5. He's got to come out and see what happens.
No safe option. I guess he can leave an indirect from the 11, but I don't know. I don't find that. Yeah.
Yeah. Then you haven't got out.
And so I think Justin is probably still thinking like slow playing this. You know, I don't think he's thinking he's not good enough, unless he's just like it could be just like a lack of understanding of match play or the position or both at the same time. I'm not sure. But my instinct is more that he's thinking he probably wins too many gammons and so wants to see this game a little bit further instead of cashing it. Seb still with the clear pass after all plays. These are the worst to have to figure out when, like, I just want to let it go. He's
so
not going to let me, so I have to find the best play.
Is that often will deter your opponent from doubling. He'll think sort of, what happens if I can't come in, or,
Cube last
there's
time
ways
still
to lose this game as well as get a gammon.
Yeah. So the cube last time, I'm surprised this is actually so close. Still sizable at the score, but nothing for money. Still very easily takeable for Seb. I think that would have given him a hard time. 3 in, 2 lifts, okay. And we can look at the cube action here too. So he has monster pass on gammons again there. 2-1. Sure. Just playing quiet. And now he's got some decent structure here where I think if the cube came into play, this would feel quite takeable, and still a little bit early, almost a dead even game now. So somehow he's weathered the storm here. 3, okay. Justin's all in on the closeout, but maybe if we're going to be all in, we should hop out instead, right? Like we can run out of time very easily here.
Well, I think the idea is with the cubes live that all you have to do is have a threat of a closeout.
Okay, that could be.
So I guess the question is, what happens when he rolls the 2? Which play do you prefer?
Right. Massive pass either way, but it looks like XG preferred coming out as well.
Right. Okay, so he's on the board. That's excellent.
There we go.
As I said last time, I always like it when both players score some points. Right, so 3-4, he's splitting. So I generally split anyway, but I'm sure you understand that when you've got this big match deficit, the computer's more keen on the building play rather than the splitting play.
Yeah, I play 2 down at even scores as well.
Right.
So if I'm down, I'm for sure playing 2 down. And then I only switch over to the split when I'm leading. Yeah, this seems very natural to play down with it too, but he misses a small chance to split. I guess that must be pretty score-based here, but okay.
Yes.
Oh, he's going to take the checker off the 4 instead of making the 5 point. Is that so clear? Yeah, I would have thought we'd go for the better point and let our opponent have that weaker point slotted.
Yes. Like you say, if we trade the 5 for the 4, that sounds a good swap.
Right. And now this is always quite the dilemma. Do we anchor? Do we come out and hit? Of course, with 3 checkers back and only 8 in the zone, the threat of being attacked is a lot less. So the hit looks pretty attractive to me. But I tend to overplay on those.
The score is arguing strongly for making the 20 point. But
sure.
I think you're right. Yeah, because we're 6 away from the blot on the 10 point when we hit. So
yeah.
when we hit at the top of the board and he hits us at the bottom, then we can hit him back with a 6.
Yeah, these are almost dead tied. Of course, long-term having the 20 point is great. But the tempo is really frustrating to leave here, given that our opponent can hit with the 6 and maybe cover the 9.
Yeah, so I guess the idea here is that the hitting play wins more games, but it's going to produce more gammons for both sides.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, we can see that in the numbers there too. Okay, they're taking a short break to send some text messages. Someone want to zoom in on that and see what he's saying? Hope it's nothing too private.
Saying I've got a right mug here. I'm playing. He's been so lucky though.
All right, what do we got? 4-2. That's gonna hit on the 9, I do believe. Could anchor, but it feels more important to keep that 3rd checker back.
Yeah, the trade last time was white could have had anchored on the 20 point, so anchoring on the 21 is a bit worse. So it's a weird game where you get all this hitting where no one's got a point yet. So it's like the hits are only transitory advantage. You don't expect your opponent's going to stay on the bar after you've hit.
For sure. This one, I think linking up in the outfield would have been my first instinct. But okay, we can make a blocking point in front of the anchor. That must be pretty good too. Yeah, only indirects. Yeah, probably.
So, but there were other plays. You can make the 5 or you can point on head. But the point on head was behind the anchor.
Right.
This is good, solid play.
5-4 just escapes the checker with a pretty even race. That seems fine too. Seb under some pressure to split now.
Yes. So as you say, Black's got the advanced anchor. So we've got to get an anchor of ourselves to compensate.
Right. And I think we can leave the indirect 7s here.
Yeah, so the 7 certainly, he's going to come off the anchor when he hits, so he has to give up the only asset he's made.
I am never thinking of just running all the way to the outfield.
No, me neither.
Play. I don't know why we'd want to go be in front of that stack, but I guess we're in front of a stack either way is the reason.
Well, it's 8 in the zone. It's kind of like, it's the opening position. We always play 4-5 that way there.
Yeah. I guess also the 3-1 would have been forced to hit instead of making the 5 point there, so some tactical ideas with running maybe. Keep our opponent from developing at least.
Yeah, so I'm going to blame Mitchie for this. He was the one that said counter an advanced anchor with an advanced anchor.
Yeah.
He didn't say counter an advanced anchor with a running play.
Exactly, yeah. As soon as he teaches me that, I'll consider it. Are we just all in now? We could play down and break the 8 to hit or hit on the ace, or we're just running off the anchor with a... I don't really want to leave the anchor in this spot. Yeah.
No, okay. At least when we have the anchor, we can't lose.
Yeah. It seems like it can be a long game still. And we're not really gaining so much when we get away with it. But okay, he improves his anchor, so maybe not so net negative here.
And Seb's got his running out with a 9 play.
Yeah. 6 out and 5 down cleans up with a racing lead and a... match lead. We like simple plays like this, so he's coming around comfortably. Double 3s, can't hit.
we can prepare for the hit, can't we?
Yeah, we get to make a bunch of points. That's pretty nice. Oh, he wants to slot the 7 instead. Sure, that must be okay. But why not make the 13? And maybe our opponent will roll a 4-1 or double ones or something like that.
Yeah, as you say, that if you've got the 2 blocking points, it creates the anti-jokers.
Yep. Does this one count? I don't think so. I don't think we really had anything with this either way. But yeah, he's forced to leave a blot somewhere. Maybe in front of the anchor is the best place. Least shots and most destructive.
Maybe we can make the 7 point if we're missed and get another landing spot there.
That's right. That's right. Seb's just going to start slotting the bar point to make sure he doesn't miss making it anymore, right?
Yes, that works as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's doing fine, except the race lead seems to have disappeared.
Yeah, only 6 pips. Okay, this cleans up nicely.
That's what stopped him doubling.
22 pips could be enough pretty easily. -9 is 13. So yeah, this feels like a cube. Like it's not so contact oriented and mostly just a race.
Yeah, as you say, it's almost exclusively single games. It's kind of a gammon-free position.
And we're close to the point of last take in a race, so I would be thinking to send this. Contact is enough to keep it right on the cusp of a double, though. Okay. So
the conclusion I got from this Paul Weaver article on these positions that the position's about 2 pips better than a race for black. The idea that the holding the 5 points, stopping white making the 5 point is going to cost him when he gets into a race.
Oh, okay. I like that.
So, the contact is definitely in black's favor.
Got it.
About 2 pips. As I say, he quantified it as about 2 pips.
Yeah, got it. Okay.
So if you say you're 11 up, then I mean it's still a reasonable double.
But that should put you right on the borderline, and maybe if you want to use the score to adjust a little bit, then you avoid some recubes by waiting 1 pip more. So yeah, I think if you have that Paul Weaver rule and some simple score ideas, that you can find the weight here pretty easily.
Yeah,
it's very useful.
Seb argued to me a very good point with UBCs and BMAPs, the idea that if you're playing to PR, it's not a mistake to double this, that you get the potential mistakes out the way, and that it's all your opponent's potential mistakes. So I was thinking about this idea just before we started, and I thought that there's a good logic behind this, because once black takes the cube, all the decisions are his, and the computer's saying it's a no double if black acts with the cube perfectly for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
So you're giving black the potential of getting things wrong with the cube, and removing the potential of you getting things wrong.
Right.
So even if the computer says it's a small error, as I say, practically you can say there's a lot of pluses to the play.
It's always so difficult for me to weigh like who the practical pressure is on when we're cubing that way. I've heard that logic used, but it's not always clear to me. This one, I think I agree with you that most of the difficult decisions should be on black side of the board. So if you can recognize that, you can use it.
I'm making the 4 point here.
I would have thought so too.
3.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be comparatively easy to clear the back points. So getting something good for the bear off it's like letting black out with a double 4 is potentially bad.
Yeah, and we stack a point we want to clear when we clear the 9 onto the 7 anyway, So 1 checker in either way. So aces, it's always tempting to me, even in situations like this, to clear another one. But I guess we don't want to make a stack of 8, so I like his 9 to 8 idea. Probably just fine there.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the race, whether it's better to leave the spares on 8 and 7 and just play 3 to 2. So you've got more attacking options if black's catching 8 in the race.
Okay, that's interesting.
So it's all to do with what the race is like.
And it's getting pretty close as Seb keeps finding almost no pips here.
Yep.
And Justin rolling okay. So I think Justin, happy to run out with 2. I guess 4 cells is 6 regardless. So we want to capitalize on what race we have left and not allow our opponent to attack us or something like this. Great roll for him. And 13 pip deficit though. Still has work to do to catch that up. 6-2. Seb finally rolling at least okay with his 8 on the other side of the board.
You can see he's under pressure to get something to the 5 points. That he managed to get 1 there last time, but you can see this idea how when black's been staying on the 5 point, you don't get a perfect bear off.
Yes, that is coming through very clearly in this position. I like that. So it's not like he wants to roll this 2-1 to get there either, right? But
Yeah,
he'll
but
take it. Yeah.
At least the wastage has disappeared now.
Right. It always feels like I want that. That's what you're like, oh, what a good roll. Oh, wait, I forgot it's not any pips. All right, 6-5 is nicer to take checkers off those high points. So he's keeping himself in the lead, but Justin fighting hard for it too. Not too far behind still. Always one bad sequence away from overtaking the lead in this one.
Yes, I'm with 6-5 here. I think
Interesting.
You can always play 2-1 with a bad one.
Yeah. Seems like you've got the right idea there by a small margin. 6-4, 2 off. Okay, big roll for Justin. Now they're about even in this game, I think.
Yeah. So after the 5-1, the plays have transposed.
Right. That tends to be the case. It's funny how often that is.
No, it's not worth spending a minute figuring out which one is better by 2 milli-points when they're going to cancel out next turn.
Right.
No, double 3, right. So that might well mean he's in business now.
Yeah, he misses a cube actually before that with the score deficit, apparently. I'm not sure I would have been thinking about it. So certainly going to miss a pass at this point. Sends it back. Let's see
so
if,
he's
Seb
over
knows
10% and a checker, isn't he?
Yeah, this is pretty huge. This is, in the EPC when we look at that very quickly, but yeah, just using simple racing formulas, this should be around like a 3-pip point of last take with no adjustments. Both their positions pretty smooth, so I don't think we have to adjust much at all. I think this is a pretty findable pass. But if we look at the roll before, yeah, so this is shy of something that we'd be likely to think about in normal money scores and things like that.
So I'll point out again the end number. You can see that was 350. So it's kind of saying at a normal score you're crazy to redouble. But when you're trailing in a match, it's you've got two forces pulling in opposite directions. So usually you're saying, I own the cube, I don't want to give it to my opponent. But at the same time, you're saying, well, I'm a long way behind, I have to get the cube high.
Yeah.
And usually the idea of recubing, getting the cube to 4, trumps this idea of saying, well, I'd like to keep hold of the cube and minimize my losses.
Right.
So they've set the position up. Oh, he slotted with a 2-1. Right, I can understand how he started with 4 on the 6 point.
Justin's going to ask about this? What is... Oh, I wish we had their sound for this. It's funny.
So was the opening roll 2-1?
Yeah.
Ah, right. So looks legal then.
Maybe they're asking about last game or something. I'm not sure.
Yes. Yeah. Maybe as you say, that's probably quite likely. He might be asking sort of, should I have doubled earlier or something?
Yeah. Ooh, 4-6 is a good follow up to the 2-1.
Yes.
That was a pleasant conversation. Let's put 2 checkers on the roof, sir. 5-4 enters 2. And with the trail and the score and 4 back, we already got to have an itchy cube finger. I don't think so here. And more sensitive scores, I'd be happy to.
Yes, so gammon go, something like that.
But we're awful close already, yeah. Okay. 2-6 is going to be enough to follow up to...
2 is good, and 6 is not so good, so I guess we've got to run one of them out.
If we run from the 21, we keep them linked. And we slot the better anchor.
Yes.
I think there's some good ideas.
Not quite sure why the computer often goes the opposite way to me, whatever my logic. Okay, so 2-1, do we hit?
Yeah, I think fighting for the high point is still called for. Yeah.
And unstacking, sure.
We can still have the racing lead even when we're hit back here. So that's often a reason to do something like that. He's going to go ahead and hit and probably make the 11, have a piece of structure. Coming together for Seb, not so comfortably for Justin.
So Justin's got the bar. He needs an advanced anchor, and then the game's kind of about level.
Yeah, there we go. Finds it, and Seb likely to make one of his own too, but he also has the option of making the 5 point here. Oof, that's tough. Once your opponent has the anchor, the 5 point is a little less valuable. Going to be hard to make naturally.
Like you, I'm not sure here. I think I would go for the 20 point, if nothing else. That we've got the match lead.
Yeah, this doesn't feel like one that score should influence too much. I feel like one's going to be right or wrong. I don't know. But okay, maybe with how close these numbers are, that could be the difference. Very interesting. Okay.
Yeah, so I mentioned, I think earlier, my TLAs, the 3-letter acronyms, and I have one called DOA.
Okay.
Which is defense or attack.
Ah.
And it's also a good movie, I think.
Okay. Dead on arrival is what I thought that stood for.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
So I've translated it to defense or attack.
Got it. Yeah, I like that. I like Phil Simborg. I forget where he got that from, but talks about offense, defense. Like when you're clearly on the offensive, then you make offensive plays. You have to figure out which side you're on, right?
Yes.
And then make things that follow that is the idea.
Okay. The argument here was that Seb's got the good match lead, so he wants to get into the holding games without any gammons.
Okay, that kind of defense. Yeah, I gotcha. And now, wow, comes with that cube aggressive. This seems pretty strong.
Nice. So what have we got? We got 9 in the zone, 3.5 point board.
Yeah, the weakest 3-point board
in
possible.
The outfield. Yeah, so I'm sure this is a good double at the score. That
yeah, I don't think I'd be queuing this at normal
when
scores.
You think that if you take this, you might never play again.
Right. So yeah, I mean, I felt like I wouldn't send this at normal scores, so this must be a fine take. It's closer than I imagined, and those gammons are pretty sky high. But the wins just have to be so high with how weak that board is and how many checkers back there are here too.
So it's when White gets an anchor, he's winning the game. Is the simple translation.
That's a good point.
But
yeah.
Many a slip twixt cup and lip, they say. Okay, so Seb's correctly taken.
Yep.
So you can't argue with doing what the computer says, but it's certainly the kind of position where I think, well, if I'm outplaying my opponent or not, maybe I can give him a point here. So that's the crucial role he's found.
And now it doesn't rate to be like the hardest game for Justin to play either, right? Like either he's going to succeed in
double aces.
Yeah, I think we're switching twice, right?
Yeah, it's a sweep, as I call it.
Yeah, but he can do it this way, the pure way, too. Okay, I was going to say he shouldn't have too much trouble bringing this home, but he can run into some tricks like this and thinking that he needs to keep the pure points in attacking position.
Yeah, so I don't like this. I think Mitchie covered this very well and said if you've made the 1 and the 2 points already, you have a blitzing formation. You can't make it suitable by saying make them in order.
Yeah, I love that. The prime versus blitz kind of evaluations like this and finding plays that way is very valuable, I think.
So the plan is if you just put both on the bar and he stays out, you can bring down a couple of builders and have extra attackers when you're starting to leave a blot.
Right. Yeah, so we only have 10 in the zone right now, so we risk having one of those sent back and having 4 back, which is really going to reduce our chances in the blitz. The purity isn't the key to keeping it going. Just being missed is the key, right? So.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So 4-1's going to enter 1. Okay, so not punished for it, but needs to follow up well still here. And, needs to cover and be able to hit that checker are both very important here.
So what's he doing here? Is it other 5 covers, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think the 5 for sure, and then maybe the 6
down with
to
the
attack.
6, I would think.
Would have been my instinct too, but he does have to get moving with those back 3 checkers, so maybe he's just decided.
But I don't think the one on the 24 was the one that needed to move urgently.
Yeah, I could have come off the 21 actually. That's very interesting.
So it's kind of like you're all in here. So I think you have to work at saying, well, I've got to close him out.
Sure.
And when I get close to that, then I can start worrying about the back checkers.
If I had to make a carding argument, I could say that if Seb makes the 4 point at this point, the 21 point anchor, it's not the end of the world. We can still probably have plenty of time to come around. And without closing him out, we could still win a gammon even. He can still fan a lot on a 5-point board.
Yeah, no, it's a fair point. It's that, you say, well, okay, if he comes in, I wish I'd moved the back checkers. And if he stays out, I wish I moved the front checkers.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, okay. Something just playing from the 18 here. I was trying to figure out what we don't really like to be front loaded with
this 9 to 5. It's difficult to find a 4. That was the problem he had in the position. There isn't a good 4.
So he's still looking. And going to play this way 13 to 6 instead. Okay. That can't be too bad, but it's just a little front loaded. And once your opponent anchors, then it's really not helping you. So we need to move from the back somehow. My instinct would have been from the 21, but maybe from the 18 is fine as well. I don't really know.
Yeah, no, I like your idea. So, there's Harold Johanni, one of the German players. He came up with a beautiful idea. We called Johanni's snail. Which is when you're trying to move 3 checkers round together through enemy territory. You have a point and a blot, and you alternately have the blot behind the anchor, behind the point, and then in front of the point, and then you move the point forward.
Okay. Hey, this links
so
up
like
nicely.
it's like how a snail walks, you know. So it fixes its back half to the ground and then moves the front forward. Then it fixes the front forward and then pulls the back along.
Yeah. I'll have to find some snail positions and reinforce that for myself. I like that. I love all these like Michi-isms and things like that that help us remember concepts like that.
Yes, so
it's visual.
Yes, it's not just sort of knowing it. It's that you need some mental clue or verbal clue to say sort of that's pointed me in the direction. Now I know what's going on in this position.
Yeah.
Anyway,
yeah.
He's done all the hard work, I'd say, or 99% of it.
Yep, and now Seb pretty much needs to hit a shot to save the gammon. So
yeah, so 120 is kind of like if you're 100 down, then you're going to lose a running gammon.
Sure.
So you've just got to assume that you're going to hit. You're not going to save any gammons when you don't hit.
So however we can just construct like containing structure, hoping for that eventuality is how we're going to play this one. Does he really need to clear the 6? Yeah, okay. Maybe, okay, he's winning like 90% gammons either way. This might make a dent in it. I'm not sure. I think.
Yeah, so I think the play for Seb is you kind of make a multi-purpose play. So it's what Roberti calls the non-commitment play.
Yeah.
It's very popular with the male players, but not the females.
I love it.
They like McGreal's chapter called "Using Men Effectively."
Beautiful. All right, I think we can go with the 6 now. We're not really saving anything to waste a Pippin board. And we still get a shot on 6-1-5-1-4-1. And I think the 4 is less clear, but 11 to 7 still seems fine to spend all the pips and be ready should we get the shot. He's wants to spend it all in the front, though. Very interesting. Okay.
Yeah, so maybe he's thinking that he can run off it after he's had his double 6.
I guess so. But if you are thinking that, then I would think that you don't want to waste that pip 11 to 5. Yes. And he hits it too. Okay. So going to be a little bit sad not to have the board immediately, but I think 20 to 16 is going to get closest to covering things from the rear. And still plenty of chances for Seb here. How many off is this? It looks like 4 off, so we can find some recubes here too.
Yeah, so it's 3 off. There's 4 on the ace point for black.
Yeah, 4 on the ace. Oh, you're right. 3 off. Yeah, even more cubes from there. Okay, yeah, I think stepping up to the edge is called for here. Let's bring up the contact and challenge him to play early instead of just making the 7 and priming. Beautiful shot too. Oh, he can cover. I didn't even notice that. I was just assuming pointing on head would be the thing.
Yeah, no, so you're right. I think you have to point on head now. It's come to the edge.
Yeah, but he sees that he could also make the bar point and make a priming play, so good to look at it. Beautiful
shot. A lot of mistakes people make is when they don't even consider the other play.
Mm-hmm. Not a lot of returns here from the roof, and doesn't hit any of them, any of the 6 aces. So 5-3 going to hide at blot and wait for this checker on the 16 to come to white.
Yes.
7s, 11s, and 12s to hit. Nothing really gets by naturally, though. 4-2 is going to come into range of a double shot.
I wondered why he hesitated there, whether he'd cubed or not. So
just shaking a little extra hard. I think it's better than getting another blot in play, isn't it? I'm not sure how much we reduce this. Wow, this is right, though.
3 and 6, I think, is 29 shots already, so it can't be a lot more if you go closer.
But bot likes staying out of direct range. Doesn't get rewarded for it. Interesting. And here's the issue with it now. Yep. Maybe at normal scores, I'd be thinking about cubing from the roof with that shot at the extra checker there. But I don't think we really need to take on the volatility at 7
recubing at this score, exactly.
Yeah.
Especially given the fact that black seems to come in with a hit every roll.
Oof, and a fan there too. Yeah, we'll have to
so we've got 5s, 1s, and 2s.
5-3. So he can't lift the blot, so that's still in play. So direct 3 from the roof is pretty huge. 4s and 5s, I think, hit as well.
This is one he needs to hit.
Oh, but he misses it. Okay, and now he's going to lose a lot of gammons in this position after this melee.
Yeah, so I don't think there's any backgammons with only 3 off. But
oh, the 5s is blocked. Okay.
Wow.
Oh, man.
That's his best.
What a disaster roll.
6-1 misses. So we make a point. Make the 5 point.
Read in the book
that,
point, right?
that stops you being gammoned making the golden point.
Okay. Always, even in this position, huh?
Yeah, so this is the exception that proves the rule. Every rule has its exception, even this one.
It's still okay. He gets by safely.
Yeah.
And yeah, basically dead to a gammon now. Should have no problem saving the backgammon at least. Yeah, I'm curious what the cube action looked like earlier in that game. If we get a chance, maybe I'll go back and look at some of those. But it must have been, felt like it was getting really close for Seb, and now all of a sudden we're back to losing a gammon to be behind in the match. So
yeah,
swings there.
It's easy to be wise in retrospect, but it was that play of Seb's when he made a couple of crossovers into his home board and broke his prime.
Yeah.
So then when he got his hit, it didn't win anymore.
Yep. So
we looked at it and we saw that he could make the bar point and have the 5 prime, and then when he hits, he'd won very, very quickly.
Yeah, big regret scenario there. That was too bad.
Okay, so scores are close now.
So I'm curious from here.
1-0 ahead to 7.
Okay, still nothing going on there. But yeah, 7 away, 6 away. So 6-3 split to open. Okay. And returns fire from the roof. I think we usually split with this when we're unstacking too.
Yeah, so once you've still got the spare on the 8 point, you can use the other number to split the back checkers.
Finds the boxcar bonus in the beginning. Ace covers and then 5 down. I guess after we made the bar point, I don't really want to lose.
I can see a hit there when you've got the 9 in the zone. So it's kind of like if you start with 6-5, then you're going to hit twice.
Exactly.
So you've got to the same position here.
That was the first thing I was thinking of, and then I realized that we also have a priming point in this one. So a little bit of both there. That was tricky, but I think I would have erred on that side of not hitting as well. 5s look like they're going to blitz. Can they just escape to winning race? That's always a candidate when it's an option. But he's going to go for the blitzing play instead. 5-6 enters 1. And with 10 in the zone, or 9 in the zone and an anchor, this looks like a pretty strong cube even leading, I would think.
Yeah, so we need 6, don't we? So 4 is going to be good. So what's it like compared to the ordinary blitz? So I guess as black, we've got an extra checker in the zone, but white's made the 3 and the 7 point.
But we also have an advanced anchor instead of being stuck on the 24, so we have a single racing game plan.
That's a very good point.
So we can just play this quiet if we need to, and I think
I was thinking we should wait, but you're spot on. The computer says we should hit. Actually, he's done a pick and pass. That looked really weird, but it's paid off after a 5.
Yep. And now our position's weaker, so I don't think we're going to have a cube anymore.
So hit and
now
down.
He's stuck leaving it. Yep. Okay, this time I don't think he's going to roll a 5, so I'll leave it slotted. 4-1, he's right. And have we improved here? We have 10 in the zone now.
Yeah, and we got 3.5, so...
Yeah.
Yeah,
and Seb's just going to let this one go. Okay, wow. Misses out on quite a bit. 25, 12.5. Yeah, I mean, it's just right on the cusp of a normal score kind of cube, too. Surprising that he'd let this one go, but it looks pretty threatening. Like there's a lot of material in the zone we can get close.
Yeah, so it's interesting when black's got the 5 point slotted, because there's a positive if you cover it, but on the other hand, you roll 6-5, you're suddenly regretting it.
Yeah, I think underestimating.
So it looks like they're taking a break.
Yeah, and I think part of that must be like underestimating the impurity of Justin's structure, that he's going to have trouble cleaning that up.
So there was a guy had wandered onto the 3 point, wasn't there?
Yeah, exactly. That dilly builder is hard to account for because you're not used to players making plays like that. But before we hop to a quick break, we'll just look at that match progression. Ben mostly Seb,
you keep showing these graphs, and it reminds me of my pulse rate when I turn off the pacemaker.
Yeah, that's brutal. He was all the way up to like almost 80% to win the match. Now he's taking a dive down to
it seemed amazing. It looked like it was all one-way traffic, and then suddenly when you look back at it, it's he's underdogged.
Yep. But okay. We'll hop away and take a quick break here, and we'll be back with more backgammon action soon. Thanks, everybody. Hi, everybody. Nick Blazier here, back with another interview, this time with Zdenya Gziska, Masayuki Mochizuki, a.k.a. Mochi.
Hi.
Hi, Mochi.
Hello.
Michihito Kagayama. Welcome.
Hi, everybody. And hi, Nick. Thank you for having me.
Justin Knoll. He's, welcome, Justin. Say hi.
Hello.
Thomas Tenlin, He is G1 Grandmaster on BMAB. I just looked it up. Current PR of 2.89. Nick Blazer here with another interview with another backgammon community star in Simon Barjett.
Difficult positions you have to figure out over the board.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I mean? And it's sometimes it's not easy, and it's like you have to be sharp.
I mean, the worst player in my first 5 or 6 rounds was like PR5, so I was like, oh my god, what a day. But then, I mean, the luck turned on the other side, so it was super exciting, and it was one of my best weeks. I mean, the most exciting.
You really get to win, or the guy goes, but what if he hits me back? And I go, but what if he anchors? You know what I mean? Like the fear isn't getting hit back. The fear is him anchoring, you know? And Sanders said that in an interview. And I go, I've been telling people this in lessons for years. I'm like, if he anchors on the 24 point, the guy might end up winning 20% of the games then and there.
What changed? How did you figure out that it was a game worth playing and studying?
Then, maybe I was 17 years old. I accidentally found a book at a bookstore, which is a backgammon strategy book.
Hi everybody, Nick Blazer here with another position analysis video. This one is about recube action against the three-way player, so trailing against that and how to find these aggressive cubes. It's something that I've covered in my book. All right, looks like we're back at the board and ready to get going with this match again. Yeah, between Seb and Justin. Score currently is 7 away, 5 away, with Justin leading this one.
Right, so it's 2-0 to 7, I guess is the equivalent.
Yeah, there you go.
So I spent a lot of time playing 7-point matches. So 5 away, 7 away, I guess is nothing special. So 3-1 is best.
Yeah, we do see some influence on early cubes. You use it in like fairly borderline things to wait a little bit as the leader and fearing recubes and send a little more aggressively, not fearing, fearing market loss as the trailer. But nothing too major. I agree with you.
So can I trouble you to make it full screen again?
Yes, of course. Sorry. Thank you for the reminder. So many jobs. It's hard to
yes.
remember.
No, I mean, you're doing brilliantly so far.
Thank you.
I wondered if you were going to collapse out of exhaustion after however long it is, whether it's, coming up to 10 hours, I guess, now?
Yeah. I love Seb's instinct here to make a board point. I'm surprised that this isn't the best option. And maybe we'd even be thinking about a cube somewhat here for money. Feels like a nice little advantage that he's got, but I think at the score, this is the kind where we adjust. Wow, it's actually close to a pass, even at this leading score.
It's
that's
Black's 5 away, and the Japanese Michi and Mochi call it a stupid score. But I think 5 away, the idea is what you'd like to do is to win 1 point.
Yeah.
And the way you win 1 point is to get a threat to win a gammon. Saying, if you take this, you're going to let me get to Crawford.
Yeah.
So give me 1 point and let me get to 4 away, which is what I hoped for in the first place. But it's difficult to find the balance.
Very interesting. Yeah, it just doesn't look that threatening to me. But I don't know. I guess the 5-point board and the 4 prime, along with the massive pip lead.
Yeah, I mean, double 6 and a pointed board is usually enough to double.
Yeah.
You have to ask yourself, what's your opponent managed to achieve to compensate for that?
Sure.
So, you've got your back checkers out, you've got a prime, you've got a race lead. What more do you need to double?
Yeah, the references I'm used to is if he has a board point of his own, he's usually okay to take, but that wasn't even going to be enough there, which must be part of why the 8-4, 6-4 was no good. Quite surprising. All right, what can 5-2 do? Can't really continue the attack.
Yeah, so I always get troubled with these. It's kind of like, the play to win the game is to hit off the edge, but then you potentially lose all your racing lead. So you have another plan, which is to say, well, let's just progress slowly and wait for a double to win the race.
Yeah. I think you can't quite see him in the back there, but that's I think that's Simon Barjett standing there and spectating the match now too.
Yeah, so Simon and Seb are good friends. So I think Seb is probably staying at Simon's place while he's over in England.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
Okay, so he hit loose, didn't get hit back, and now he's doubling. So the cube is clear, and I would think white has to give this up now.
Looks pretty dead.
Okay, so he's got to 4 away. That was his objective.
Okay.
So 4 away, 7 away is an exciting score for white's recubes.
Still going to find some initial cubes in gammonish positions.
Yes, they're playing 13, right?
Yeah.
So it's 3-0 to 7 is the equivalent.
Yes.
So there's the split. 5-2 is counter split. So small edge for black, just on the basis of having opening roll.
Often in the opening we hit loose on the 3 with the 6-4, but we have the option of making the bar point now, which should be better.
It's doing something constructive.
Yeah.
Always good to make a new point. So
2 points
double
is huge.
3, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's
Big roll for
more
Seb.
than equalize, I think.
Small racing lead too. Oh, immediately neutralizes with the anchor though. Okay, so no cube thoughts here for a while. Needs an anchor of his own, and he gets it. Okay, so I think Seb with a pretty clear advantage in this position, but not too huge. Very close to a 50-50 game.
Yeah, so Seb's got the better anchor, but he's got the race deficit.
He's got the better anchor and the better board, and basically tied in the race is what I was looking at. So I mean, I don't know.
Right. Yeah.
It's still like in the 50s, right?
No,
It's
so
still not worth
black
much,
threw in a 6-5 while I was making my comment. So.
Yeah, there you go. We saw it there, like 54-46, and okay, but easily neutralized by double 6s.
Yes, so that should conclude the entertainment for this one.
Yeah, you think that's enough to claim it already, huh?
Yeah. So 4 away, you don't want to let your opponent get to 2 away. Just give him 1 point you don't care about is the answer.
Interesting. Yeah, that is a fairly strong
position
defense.
without any gammons.
Yeah. I would still, I'm not even sure about the cube, and I would take for sure with this little of a racing deficit.
Oh, I see. Yes, so it's closer again. So it's 13.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's definite double, and like I say, I'm suspicious whether it's a take.
Yeah. And we can see I mean, it is still a fairly clear take, but it's a smaller one than it would be at a normal score. So I think the score influence you're pointing out is relevant here. Yeah. I think I can see it in those numbers. I guess the flip side of not wanting to get to 2 away is that you'd love to recube and gain 4 points pretty aggressively.
Yes.
But the problem in holding games is that it's tough to get an efficient recube in, right? It's going to be pretty much claim time when he gets it.
The other thing is you're never going to get any gammons. So when you take and everything goes your way, you know, your threat is to get to 10-9.
Yeah.
If it was a position where he's going to see there's a shot and say, well, okay, I've got a shot from the bar, I can recube to 4, win a gammon, win the match. It's you're much more interested in having a look at it.
Yeah, exactly.
So this is the kind of position where my simple assessment would be that white never gets a shot. So I think there was a version of XG where it's, and certainly with GNU, it will actually give you this breakdown with the rollouts and say how many times you hit a shot here. So Seb's giving this due consideration. So he understands the same as I do, that if your opponent's an even number away, you generally have a fondness for passing and pushing him to an odd number away.
Yeah. I wonder if he's got some approach to adjusting too, and thinks like maybe this is close enough that I can let it go and play more backgammon or something like this too, you know?
Yeah. No, I mean, your point is obviously very valid. The fact that the race lead is kind of like 10%, that normally you wouldn't take too long to take this.
Yeah.
So
should be a snap take for regular scores and not a clear cube even, right?
Yeah, but it's one of these interesting things with the odd even is that you can see black's got a match lead. So normally you'd think he'd be doubling slower than normal, when in fact the answer is he's doubling faster than normal. His cubes are stronger.
Yeah, I go through that a lot in my book about how like it's not the lead that matters, it's the proximity to match end where we start to adjust things. And that can mean that things are better for the leader in some cases, you know?
Yes.
It looks like this is one of them, yeah.
So he's troubled is the answer. Just trying to see what the time is. So you can probably see better than me how much time
he's under 7.5 minutes, so he's got plenty of bank to spend on this one.
Seb is a very strong blitz player, so he's not really, he wouldn't break any sweat till he gets down to, well, I wouldn't break any sweat till I got down to 1 minute, but he's probably Well, if it gets under 10 seconds, then I've got to wake up.
Yeah, yeah.
So yes, it's a good point you made. I mean, you wouldn't call this a skill position, would you?
No, I don't think so. Yeah.
Anyway, he's made the right choice. Well, the computer says it's the right choice with equal players, but it's the difference. It's such a big take. It's even with however you rate the players, you're going to say it's got to be a take.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe if he could see the output and know that it was only 100, he would be more reason, but it's hard to estimate that it's that weak of a take for you, really, right? Like, it feels like it could be very massive to give that up. But all right, sixes solves everything, and sixes solves everything again.
Yeah, so maybe this second set of sixes is not quite so good. So black's missing a spare on the 6 point. He wants to have some spares on high points to allow him to clear the 7 point over a few rolls, rather than say I've got to do it now. So yeah, there's going to be some bad numbers with a 2 here, aren't there?
Which he immediately did to himself, by the way. As soon as the take got, he had a 3-2 that he played by clearing the spare off the 6 for some reason when he had other perfectly viable options.
Right, yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay, so there's a little bit here. There's only 6-2, isn't there? But 5-2 is a weakener.
Yeah. I'm starting to worry about the running gammons after I see the 2 sets of 6s, though, in Seb's shoes. Just feels that kind of match.
Yeah, so you shouldn't. If you look at the pip count and you say, well, okay, we're only 50 behind, we're not going to get gammoned. So, has he left a shot?
Yep.
Yep.
I think we just peel.
Always
do we? Yeah, we don't hit because it leaves more shots, right? Yeah. Priority is just to not get hit.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. So if we had a chance of winning a gammon, maybe we'd want to put him on the bar, but White's done all the work to save the gammon already.
And so likely to go on to 7 away, 2 away.
Yeah, so I saw a match recently. I think it was probably one of the ones you commented on at the UBC, when I think they said it was 16%.
Okay.
2 away, 7 away.
Yeah, pretty similar to 1 away, 5 away is how I remember it. And
yeah, so
Seb happy to resign. Okay. Sorry, what were you saying? I think I interrupted you there.
Yes, yeah. So I remember the same as you, that 1 away, 5 away is 16, and I call it gammon go +1.
Okay.
So basically, you're saying that it's gammon go, but I have to win 1 game before I get to gammon go.
Ah, okay. Gotcha.
So gammon go is 32, and 1 away, 5 away is the 16, because you have to win 1 game to get to gammon go.
Ah, that's a fun way to remember it. Okay, I like that. They seem to be having a good old time over the board. I appreciate that.
Yeah, so Justin, he seems to have figured out that starting the game with 3-1 is to his advantage.
It's an important thing to learn early in your study, yes. Well, maybe splitting there is fine, but okay.
Yeah, I kind of had them tied.
Yeah. Makes a point, and now he's ready to make a prime. Okay, structure a little bit better for Justin here. So no early cubes if we can't get the advantage for Seb.
Yeah, so this is very different from the double 6 position we looked at, that Black doesn't have the race lead and he's still got his back checkers trapped.
Yeah.
So now Seb needs 1. He wants to hit the guy on the midpoint to disconnect Black.
Instead, he gets a 6, which should it come down or out? I'm not. Maybe the out to distract from making the 21 point is worth it.
Like you say, that Black's threat is to make the 4 point. So if you had a choice whether he hit you or make the 4 point, I think I'd rather be hit.
Right. I think that's a good find. And of course,
the question is if he gets this choice, which will he do?
Maybe both.
you can't make the 4 point safely, can you?
No. So here, maybe we just advance 24 to 22 with both of them, or all the way to the 20, something like that.
So this is double 2, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So yes, we can do 2 things.
Yeah, making the anchor is better than splitting, even though we're still behind structure a little bit. I like that play. Yeah. It's not so urgent to find the maximum mobility there. 3 in, 5 down, not much else. And Justin with a commanding lead of this position, but going to have an impossible time finding a cube at this score line.
Yeah, exactly. So if you're 2 away, then the undoubled gammons mean that you have to play on until the gammons disappear.
Yeah, clear double and pass at a normal score, but now sending the cube just cancels our gammons. When the gammons get even higher, we're just too good.
Okay, so this is looking impressive now. So we got 13 in the zone, and White hasn't made a point in board. So
truly threatening, yeah.
Clear.
Yeah, he very well could win the game on an undoubled gammon here, is what he's going for now. Maybe the best ace is just to split it back. I'm tempted to do that.
Yeah, I was playing 6 to 5. I'd like to be 6 away from the blot, just in case we get hit, so we can use a 6 to return hit there rather than not have one.
I liked how all our front checkers looked already, so I was just going to split 22 to 21 and take a chance to do that. Oh, we can make this 6 prime, but maybe this is better. Yeah, okay. Maybe he just doesn't see that.
I'm making the 6 prime.
Yeah. This feels like the blitzier play somehow. I guess our opponent can still anchor either way. Yeah, we have to try to take him off that ace point.
Yeah. But now I'm sure you're right that we get the back checkers going.
Yeah. I think when he's thinking blitz, though, he's probably already thinking he doesn't need to make pure points and just needs to close out. So he goes for the deeper point instead, which can be a blitzing theme, but a little bit different there. This looks like it's going to... Oh, he's going to make the pure point again instead of just covering the ace. Okay.
Yeah, so Seb explained these positions to me very clearly. He said, if White's going to roll a 1 next time, which play do you prefer?
Right. Yeah, I prefer to be hit. But okay, he gets to close out anyway. And now Seb in big trouble if he can't find a shot somewhere down the road here for his super jackpot life.
Yes, as you say, it looks like it's all over.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that looks as safe as any, I'd say.
Wouldn't be the most miraculous win that I'd seen, though. Or comeback, I'm sure.
Yeah, so I noticed there is a player in the draw called David Lazarus. So I'm looking forward to seeing some of his comebacks.
I love that. That's a great backgammon name. I might just change mine. And look at this. The gammon's so locked up that he should play safe and clear from the rear. Okay, I wasn't sure. The distribution looks a little bad after peeling from the 5. Nice find by Justin there. Bringing this match home, most likely. 3-1 can take 2 off and stay nice and even. I like that play. Everything else would volunteer shots. Potentially.
So it's just playing as safe as you can now is the algorithm.
I think so, which means clear from the rear here. Hoping that Seb comes in with a 6 anytime now. Just give up on contact entirely. Okay, now he's indifferent because he's super even. Has a couple rolls.
Yeah, he's just got to avoid a 1.
Yeah. 3-2, I guess, has to clear from the rear again to... Oh, we can move this way.
I would clear here. I think now you're looking for trouble.
Yeah. He's still even. I guess an ace can leave a lot of shots really quickly, though, so fine. 6-5 takes 2 off. He gets away with it. Almost certainly. 2-1 gets another fan. 6s, 5s, 4s, 3s.
2s.
2s? Oh, 2s leave 1 too. Okay. Nice, fine.
So now Seb's got to stay on the bar. It's over.
And he can't. Okay, going to resign the gammon. He's going to go complain about how unfair backgammon is, I'm sure. How brutal the dice are. I hate this game. Nothing
amazing game. It went kind of in 2 halves. So Seb won the first 6 points and then lost the next 13.
Right. That's pretty amazing. We can bring that up on the screen here again, too. Look at that progression. See how he got to feel lucky for a little while. And then by game 7, things were getting even and
fell off
going
the cliff,
downhill again. Right. That's a tall cliff that he fell off there, too. Hardly fair to get to climb that high first. But that's the game we play. Well, all right. Thanks so much, Julian, for joining me again. I think I'm going to do another jackpot match tonight, but you're signing off, right? Or are you going to hang around for that one? Or what are you doing?
Yes, I've got to get to my dinner. But
awesome. Well, enjoy your dinner. Thanks so much for joining me. I'm going to send everyone to a break. You can check Julian and Seb both out on that backgammon workshop. Links in the video description, bgws.co.uk maybe.
Okay, and I think tomorrow I'm scheduled to catch up with you for the jackpot in the evening.
Yeah, we should be on to the finals by then, so hope to catch up with you then. Of course, I've got more main event coverage tomorrow morning on my own, but yeah, we'll see you soon, Julian.
Okay, all right. Take care then. Bye.
Bye now. And off to break for us. Hi, everybody. Nick Blazier here, back with another interview, this time with Zdeněk Ziska, Masayuki Mochizuki, a.k.a. Mochi.
Hi.
Hi, Mochi.
Hello.
Michihito Kagayama. Welcome.
Hi, everybody. And hi, Nick. Thank you for having me.
Justin Knoll. He's, welcome, Justin. Say hi.
Hello.
Thomas Tenland. He is G1 Grandmaster on BMAB. I just looked it up. Current PR of 2.89. Nick Blazier here with another interview with another backgammon community star in Simon Paget.
Difficult positions you have to figure out over the board.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I mean? And it's sometimes it's not easy, and it's like you have to be sharp.
I mean, the worst player in my first 5 or 6 rounds was like PR5. So I was like, oh my God, what a day. But then, I mean, the luck turned on the other side. So it was super exciting. And it was one of my best weeks. I mean, the most exciting.
You really get to win, or the guy goes, but what if he hits me back? And I go, but what if he anchors? You know what I mean? Like the fear isn't getting hit back. The fear is him anchoring, you know? And Sanders said that in an interview. And I go, I've been telling people this in lessons for years. I'm like, if he anchors on the 24 point, the guy might end up winning 20% of the games then and there.
What changed? How did you figure out that it was a game worth playing and studying?
Then, maybe I was 17 years old. I accidentally found a book at a bookstore, which is a backgammon strategy book.
Hi, everybody. Nick Blazier here with another position analysis video. This one is about recube action against the 3.
bookstore, which is a backgammon strategy book.
Hi everybody, Nick Blazer here with another position analysis video. This one is about recube action against the three-way player, so trailing against that and how to find these aggressive cubes. It's something that I've covered in my book, but this What's up, y'all? We're still checking out that playroom. Waiting for the next match to come up. I figured I'd just join in and see if anyone wants. I don't know. If you guys got questions about the tournament, I can ask them for a little or answer them for a little bit. I could show the bracket from this. If you guys haven't been leaderboarding, you're missing out. Let me see if I can hop over there and get that real quick. Let's see here. Yeah. And then we'll make this big. There we go. So we have a 32-player field. I think the entry was 250. We'll make sure this is up to date too. So far, the only reported results were Justin Bohr taking out Sebastian that we watched. We've got Steven Nelson that we saw on stream earlier. Couple matches. Okay, Oliver Squire got knocked out, it looks like. I don't know this player, Engin Ongol. Radu Chortan is a name I'm familiar with. Always a strong competitor in the field. A pretty tough field here. Yeah, looks like maybe Simon's still playing. A lot of these, John Barnes, Reese Hodges, a lot of these names are all familiar with. Rajan, sorry. Yeah. So you can follow this too. The link to this is in the description. You can maybe see it in the video here too. But keep an eye on these to see what matchups are coming and how people are progressing through this tournament. It's fun to see the path through the whole 32. Come back over here real quick. Get this out of the way. You can see a nice active playroom there too. Still plenty of going on this late at night here. I guess it's not too late for them. It's only like 9:45. So a final match of the evening starting around 9:30 or 10 is pretty reasonable. It starts to get tough when you have to start matches at like midnight or something like this. But, you know, having this 7:30 start time in a 13-point match too, not too surprising that plenty of them are still running. So yeah, we'll see once we have the conclusion of a couple, once the first one's available to come play on here. I think we'll have the stream going for the next one. But I figured I'd just jump on and give a little break from the music and such. It'll be a while till you guys notice. For whatever it's worth, I run these on 3-minute delay as well to make sure that, you know, I don't know, just so we don't have to even worry about players watching this on stream while they're playing or anything like that. So if you ask me a question, it might take me a little bit of time to get to it. You'll probably see the answer on stream in 3 minutes. Over here in Wisconsin, where I am, it's 10 to 4, so it's just the afternoon. So I get to wrap this up, eat some dinner, go to sleep, and get up bright and early tomorrow morning again for more main event action that starts at 11 a.m. UK time, which I think is GMT as well. And that'll be 5 a.m. my time. So yeah, excited to get up super early for that. I've got all the live stream info set up on my channel already for the weekend too. So you can go set notifications on all those for when they go live. But same schedule all weekend, 5 a.m. on Saturday. And then we'll take a dinner break and start again at 7:30 p.m. Or sorry, 5 a.m. 11 a.m. UK time, then 7:30 p.m. And then we'll start with the finals again on Sunday at 11 a.m. UK time, GMT. So yeah, if you're still in there hanging out and watching, thank you. Thank you for joining me. You can watch the Atlanta stream on breaks too. I know that's going right now. Bill and Tara over on AP Live doing that. So a lot of backgammon going on this weekend to keep an eye on. Yeah, let me know if you got any questions. Maybe they'll start coming in now. I see the stream is caught up with me playing with the bracket now. I see some players walking around over by the board here too. I don't know if that means that someone's gotten the instruction that it might be their turn up on stream. We'll see. Beautiful bracket graphics. What else do I have to share here? 60-player field in the main event, 32-player field in this jackpot. Lots of the top names. It sounds like some of the players that couldn't get off of work for the Friday didn't make the main event but are playing the jackpot here now. Maybe Simon Barjett was one of them, and RF I heard as well. So yeah, I hope we get to catch some matches with them, and lots of exciting stuff to go in the main event side of things too. Maybe I'll pull that up real quick and look at the brackets on that side, how they shook out after a day of play. Maybe there's still fighters bracket things going on in the evening, but I think it's pretty much done with play for the day. So we can go see how people are progressing over there. And the undefeated side, sure, I'll share my screen with this while I do this too, so you can see me play. So it looks like on the undefeated side, we've got, okay, I don't really know a lot of these names. You guys will have to jump in if you know any of them. Sebastian Wilkinson on a good run after defeating Oliver Squire, so he's still alive in the main after a tough loss. We'll be taking on Fetterlein Bukur. That name sounds familiar. I'm not sure I know who it is. But the young gun knocked out, so we won't have under 30 matchup or whatever that would be over there. All right, after Christopher took out Chris Bray, that was the first match we watched today. He lost in the second round, and we're on to these two players that I'm not familiar with either. Will Cockerell I met having... Oh, it looks like these rounds are all played. Am I crazy? Did I just not notice that? Okay, Seven Cataline haven't played. But some of these other ones have played already, and we know who's moving on. Okay, I'm just noticing that. But Will won the doubles in what's it called? In Cyprus. So I got to talk to him a lot there of the book and stuff. Tim Line, another familiar name, of course. RF, okay, knocked out, but he was in the main, so Julian was off a little bit on that, I see. The second chance bracket, Chris Bray's still alive over there. Okay. Oh, Plato's in the tournament? That's cool. I thought he was past. David Lazarus, Julian referred to. That's a great backgammon name. Oh, he's coming back from the dead. Martin Barkwell and RF Alipur. Ooh, that should be an exciting one when it comes up. Nikki Czech taking on Radu over there. Okay. And Chris O'Connor and Reese Hodges over here in the second chance. Okay. Lots of good matchups coming up tomorrow. We'll come back to the main screen here. Yeah, it's super fun to go through all those brackets. So I have all the main bracket information in the videos from the main event, the morning videos, in the Super Jackpot ones, in the Super Jack videos. So you can go pull those up by looking at the description on the videos as well. Have some fun with that. Pretty strong looking field for this as well. Seems like they've gotten a good turnout for this really nice venue here. Everyone wearing suit coats and fancy dressed. It's not really my style, but maybe I could do it. Someone would have to lend me a suit. Hope someone could do that for me. Wonder if anyone will lend me a suit for like Monte Carlo or something like that. I'd be glad to wear one. Just don't have to get one. Oh. Looks like we're playing with the video on the feed again too. Okay. Very cool. Make sure that's still lined up for me. Looks okay. Guess we can play some quiet music in the background. What if we do that? Turn it down a little bit. Hopefully you can still hear me over this. Yeah, I expect we'll be getting more information about the next round soon and be starting up to play with that. And that'll be, so it started with a round of 32. This will be a round of 16 match in the Super Jackpot. And that will conclude our evening too. So we got one more match tonight. Stick around for that. Ask me questions while I'm not doing anything. What else do we got going on here? There was something or other I wanted to check on. I can't remember now. All right, I can pull up the other bracket and see if any Super Jackpot results are in. Oh, we're down to 24 active players, which means more winners. So we've got Paul Moulton and CD Shaktu. I don't know how to pronounce those. We've got Steven Nelson and RF Alipur. That's a strong match. I think everyone wants to see some RF, I'm sure. We'll see. But it seems like we should have a match incoming kind of soon now. You guys can let me know if there's anyone in particular that you want to see as well. All right, I'll show you our sponsors for a little bit longer, but we'll be right back with the match quickly. Hi, everybody. Nick Blazer here, back with another interview, this time with Zdenya Gziska, Masayuki Mochizuki, a.k.a. Mochi.
Hi.
Hi, Mochi.
Hello.
Michihito Kagayama. Welcome.
Hi, everybody. And hi, Nick. Thank you for having me.
Justin Knoll. He's, welcome, Justin. Say hi.
Hello.
Thomas Tenland. He is G1 Grandmaster on BMAB. I just looked it up. Current PR of 2.89. Nick Blazer here with another interview with another backgammon community star in Simon Parchet.
Difficult positions you have to figure out over the board.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I mean? It's sometimes it's not easy, and it's like you have to be sharp.
I mean, the worst player in my first 5 or 6 rounds was like PR5, so I was like, oh my god, what a day. But then, I mean, the luck turned on the other side, so it was super exciting, and it was one of my best weeks. I mean, the most exciting.
You really get to win, or the guy goes, but what if he hits me back? And I go, but what if he anchors? You know what I mean? Like the fear isn't getting hit back. The fear is him anchoring, you know? And Sanders said that in an interview. And I go, I've been telling people this in lessons for years. I'm like, if he anchors on the 24 point, the guy might end up winning 20% of the games then and there.
What changed? How did you figure out that it was a game worth playing and studying?
Then, maybe I was 17 years old. I accidentally found a book at a bookstore, which is a backgammon strategy book.
Hi, everybody. Nick Blazer here with another position analysis video. This one is about recube action against the three-way player. So All right. Small change of plan as there are at tournaments. It sounds like they're not going to play a last round of the Super Jackpot tonight or a second round. So that'll be it for today. All right. I'll be back on with y'all bright and early tomorrow. So thank you so much for tuning in. And yeah, more backgammon tomorrow. You can go, if you're itching tonight, you can go check out that Atlanta tournament over on the AP Live Backgammon channel as well. I know Bill and Tara are working that all weekend too. So plenty of backgammon action to keep up with. I've got my interview on my channel you can go watch that came out today with Jeff Hall as well. Play and Explain coming out tomorrow. So tons of content